What actually happens if you eat turmeric every single day for 30 days? Most people think it is just another so-called healthy spice, but daily use can trigger real biological changes in your body. Some of them are beneficial, others might surprise you. Stay with me because by day 30, your body is not reacting the way you expect. Most of the golden claims about turmeric fall apart if you miss one critical detail: bioavailability. How much actually gets into your bloodstream? On its own, curcumin, the main active compound in turmeric, is almost undetectable in human plasma. Standard culinary doses, even 2 full grams of powder, barely register above 0.1 micrograms per milliliter. The reason is simple. Curcumin is quickly broken down and flushed out unless you pair it with something that blocks its exit. That is where piperine, the sharp molecule in black pepper, changes everything. In a landmark 1998 study, just 20 milligrams of piperine boosted curcumin absorption nearly 20-fold, raising blood levels from undetectable to pharmacologically active. Lipid carriers, like a spoonful of oil or a formulated supplement, offer another route, wrapping curcumin in fat so it slips through the gut wall. Without these enhancers, even a month of turmeric is unlikely to shift any biomarker. For daily use to matter, the method is non-negotiable. Always take turmeric with black pepper and a source of fat, or choose a supplement designed for absorption. This is the difference between a colorful meal and a measurable biological effect. Within the first 3 days of daily turmeric, the gut is the first to respond. Curcumin, the main compound in turmeric, stimulates bile production almost immediately, nudging the gallbladder to release more bile acids into the small intestine. For most people, this means digestion feels a little smoother, especially after meals rich in fat. But for about 1 in 10, there is a mild downside, a wave of queasiness or a warm, unsettled stomach that can last a few hours. This sensation usually fades as the body adapts. It is a clear signal that turmeric is not just passing through, it is prompting real, measurable changes in the digestive tract. People with a history of gallstones or previous gallbladder surgery should be especially cautious. In rare cases, less than 1% of people have reported sharp pain in the upper right abdomen. That is a sign to stop immediately and seek medical advice. Most clinical trials exclude these at-risk groups for this reason. Maya, our journal volunteer, wrote on day 2 that she felt a gentle heat in her stomach after breakfast. Not unpleasant, but definitely something new. Early journals like hers echo the science. The first 72 hours are all about the gut learning to handle a new active ingredient. The real story of turmeric's effects is just beginning. By the end of the first week, the story shifts from the gut to the bloodstream. Clinical trials using formulated curcumin show that after 7 days, the body begins to register a real anti-inflammatory response. Blood tests reveal that C-reactive protein, a marker for systemic inflammation, drops by about 10%. Interleukin-6, a key cytokine tied to chronic inflammation, falls even further, close to 15%. These aren't dramatic numbers, but they're not background noise either. They signal that something is happening beneath the surface, and it's measurable. On the pain scale used in osteoarthritis research, people report a modest improvement, about a half-point drop in the WOMAC pain score. Maya, who started the month with stiff knees every morning, notes in her journal that she's moving a little easier by day 7. The science and the personal experience line up. The first signs of change are subtle, but they only appear with daily, properly absorbed turmeric. Consistency is already proving its value. By the second week, the gut begins to reveal a deeper story. Human microbiome sequencing shows a 20% rise in butyrate-producing bacteria, and with it a measurable bump in short-chain fatty acids, key metabolites for gut health. At the same time, serum zonulin drops by 15%, signaling that the gut barrier is tightening and is less prone to leak unwanted particles into the bloodstream. This shift is not just theoretical. Researchers tracking daily turmeric use have documented these changes using 16 ribosomal RNA data and metabolite assays. But as the microbiome adapts, not everything moves in a positive direction. Early signals suggest that curcumin may bind to dietary iron, nudging down absorption rates, an effect that could matter for those already low in iron. The balance between enhanced gut resilience and possible nutrient trade-offs becomes more pronounced. setting the stage for the next phase of internal change. By the third week, the effects of daily turmeric reach the brain. In controlled trials, serum BDNF, a protein linked to learning and memory, rises by about 12% after 3 weeks of consistent, properly absorbed curcumin. This is not just a lab number. Participants in randomized studies perform better on working memory tests, recalling an extra 1.5 digits on the forward digit span task compared to baseline. Maya describes a sense of mental clarity, with less mid-afternoon fog and a steadier mood. Researchers attribute these shifts to curcumin's influence on CREB and BDNF signaling pathways, which are only activated after sustained intake. The subtle improvements in focus and recall echo the earlier changes in gut and immune function, suggesting that what started in the digestive tract is now shaping the mind. By the fourth week, the body is not just adapting, it is accumulating. Curcumin and its metabolites are now present at steady concentrations, and the benefits are real. But so are the trade-offs. At this stage, curcumin's effect on platelet aggregation cannot be ignored. Documented cases show that regular turmeric, especially when combined with piperine, can thin the blood enough to interact with anticoagulants like warfarin. A clinical pharmacologist points out that midazolam exposure rises by 30% when taken with curcumin-piperine blends, a clear sign that drug-metabolizing enzymes, CYP3A4 and P-glycoprotein, are being blocked. For most, liver enzymes stay within normal limits, but the FDA has flagged rare cases of liver injury at doses above 8 grams per day. Maya, reading these reports, wonders if it is time to check in with her doctor about her supplement routine. After a month, the question is no longer just about benefits. It is about whether the daily habit is still the right fit. Day by day, cellular shifts quietly build. Consistency, not hype, determines the outcome. In a world chasing quick fixes, real change happens beneath the surface. What will you choose tomorrow?